Hi, I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. PM outlines 5 core strategies to combat corruption. And KL tree mishap kills 1, damages 17 vehicles. Good morning. The newly launched 5-year National Anti-Corruption Strategy (NACS) outlines 5 core strategies to improve governance and integrity in public service administration. The anti-graft strategy launched by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Tuesday focuses on education, public accountability, voice, enforcement and incentives, with 60 sub-strategies to be implemented over 5 years. In launching the strategy in Putrajaya, Anwar said that the scourge of corruption must not be taken lightly and that the country needed powerful, dedicated and courageous leaders to combat graft. He acknowledged that it would be pointless to have numerous anti-corruption plans and strategies if they were not backed up by strong political will and direction.
Saya percaya juga majoriti rakyat sudah resah dan benci dengan keterlanjuran ini. Segelintir tentunya akan tetap pertahankan dan terpukau. Kerana bila kita memerangi perasuah itu bukan manusia kerdil kecil. Perasuah itu orang-orang berpengaruh, orang-orang darjat atasan, orang-orang yang punya dana yang besar. Dia akan gunakan sebarang usaha.
Anwar added that Malaysia cannot be saved and the fate of the people cannot be safeguarded if those in power, civil servants and enforcement agencies feel entitled to exploit wealth and administer affairs according to the law of the jungle. He said that although there are parties attempting to thwart the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC's) efforts to take action against those suspected of corruption and similar offences, it is the responsibility of all, including the younger generation, to save the country and safeguard the fate of the people. And as a result of corruption over the past 5 years, Malaysia incurred losses totaling 277 billion ringgit. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki made this revelation in his speech at the same function. He said the losses were calculated based on the cumulative estimate of the gross domestic product (GDP) over the 5-year period from 2018 until last year.
Angka yang cukup besar ini sewajarnya boleh dimanfaatkan untuk membantu rakyat dalam pelbagai aspek, terutamanya pelaksanaan projek sosial seperti baik pulih hospital dan juga sekolah. Malangnya nilai ini tiris akibat jenayah rasuah.
To ensure that the anti-corruption strategy has a significant impact, the drafting of the NACS is carried out using various approaches and methodologies to identify areas in the country that are vulnerable to corruption risks. Azam also expressed hope that the NACS will serve as a catalyst to strengthen good governance in the country, aiming to prevent and combat corruption. This, according to Azam, is to ensure Malaysia's development agenda towards an integrated and corruption-free nation can be realised. Speaking to the media on another note, Anwar emphasised that the government remains firm of not allowing companies registered in Israel to conduct any activities in this country. He was asked to comment on former Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamed's statement disputing the participation of some arms supplying companies in 2 defence exhibitions that are going on in the federal capital.
Yang benarkan 2002 itu Tun Mahathir bawa ZIM, kita dah batalkan. Ingat 2002 yang membenarkan kapal Israel masuk itu adalah Tun Mahathir masa dia jadi Perdana Menteri. Dia dah bagi alasan apa-apa. Kemudian diteruskan sehinggalah saya batalkan. Majlis ini batalkan. Itu pendirian kita.
A man was killed while 2 other individuals were injured after a huge tree came crashing down on a busy road in downtown Kuala Lumpur on Tuesday afternoon, trapping motorists in their vehicles. The uprooted tree, which fell along Jalan Sultan Ismail near the Concord Hotel, also damaged 17 vehicles and a bus stop and disrupted the city's monorail service as debris and branches had fallen on the monorail track at the location.
Oh my God! Allah Akbar!
Kuala Lumpur Fire and Rescue Department Operations Assistant Director Fatah M. Amin said the department was alerted to the incident at about 2:19 p.m. and deployed 27 firemen and officers from the Jalan Hang Tuah, Jalan Tun Razak, Titi Wangsa and Sentul fire stations to rescue the trapped victims. One of the victims pulled out from the damaged vehicles. A 47-year-old man was confirmed dead by medical personnel at the scene. The victim's body was then sent to Kuala Lumpur Hospital for post-mortem. Rescuers also extricated a 26-year-old e-hailing driver and his passenger, a 72-year-old Swedish woman who both sustained injuries and were taken to the same hospital for treatment. Earlier, several videos of the incident went viral on social media, including dashcam footage showing the moment the tree fell on the road and hitting a monorail track. It was believed that strong winds and heavy rain following a thunderstorm in Kuala Lumpur at noon had caused the tree to fall. Rapid Rail Sdn Bhd said in a statement that the monorail service between KL Central and Medan Tuanku stations has been suspended temporarily due to the incident near the Raja Chulan monorail station. It is also working with the Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL to resolve the service disruption as soon as possible. Several roads were also closed until works to clear out the debris and remove the uprooted tree have been completed. Members of the public have been advised to use alternative routes to reach their destinations. Meanwhile, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Federal Territories, Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, who was met by reporters when visiting the scene of the uprooted tree incident, said there is a need for guidelines on the maintenance of aging trees in the city, especially those between 50 and 80 years old, to avert future mishaps.
Dalam keadaan cuaca yang tak menentu ni, walaupun kadang-kadang terlihat macam pokok tu masih lagi tegap, tapi mungkin kita kena adalah satu garis panduan untuk memastikan pokok-pokok yang dah tua ini kita lakukan sesuatu untuk memastikan keselamatan kepada pengguna jalan.
She added that inspection on the uprooted tree, which is over 50 years old, is done once every 2 years with arborists registered with DBKL. On compensation for the affected vehicle owners, Dr. Zaliha said that DBKL is looking into the matter, including providing aid for the victims. Moving on, Selangor FC and Harimau Malaya winger Faizal Hakim underwent his second surgery at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday. According to Football Association of Selangor, FAS Deputy President Datuk Sri Shahril Mokhtar, Faizal is likely to be in the intensive care unit ICU for about 10 days. He is also expected to undergo several more surgeries due to fourth-degree burns on his body following an acid attack at a shopping mall in Petaling Jaya on Sunday.
Tapi saya difahamkan prosedur yang sama juga dijalankan sebab kesan tu banyak di muka, leher, lengan dan juga bahagian badan. Jadi doktor tak boleh buat sekali. Jadi dia akan buat section by section. So saya difaham mungkin ini section yang lain yang doktor akan fokuskan untuk hari ini. Saya pasti akan ada lagi pembedahan yang seterusnya. Sebab benda ni akan makan masa. Saya difahamkan sekurang-kurangnya 10 hari. Paling kurang Iki ataupun Faisal akan berada di ICU. Selepas tu kita tengok bagaimana dia punya progress dia lah.
Shahril, after visiting Faisal at a private hospital in Shah Alam, added that the 26-year-old footballer also had asked everyone to pray for his quick recovery and sent his regards to his Selangor FC teammates. The national player who clinched the 2023 Asian Cup goal of the tournament award in Qatar in January is expected to be out for 5 to 6 months and will miss out on the 2 remaining matches against Kyrgyzstan and Taiwan in next month's second round of the 2026 World Cup 2027 Asian Cup qualifiers. Meanwhile, it was disclosed on Tuesday that Faizal was splashed with highly corrosive concentrated sulfuric acid. This was disclosed by Salang FC Chief Executive Officer Dr. Johan Kamal Hamidun during his visit to the private hospital in Shah Alam, where the footballer is admitted. According to Dr. Johan, doctors will use a special medication from Australia to help heal Faizal's burns that have affected his movement and speech due to the acid's effect on parts of his face. He said that Faizal was conscious, but the injuries on his body were quite critical. Dr. Johan also asked people to pray for the players' well-being. He added Salang FC has increased the security level of players, team officials and entire staff of Salang FC following threats received. On police probe into the incident, the second suspect detained has been remanded for 5 days. Selangor Police Chief Dr. Hussein Omar Khan said the suspect, in his late 30s, has been remanded until Saturday. It was reported that the suspect was arrested in Bandar Baru Bangi on Monday. The State Police Chief also confirmed that the case had been taken over by Bukit Aman CID Special Investigation Unit, adding that the motive behind the attack is still under investigation. Meanwhile, the first suspect detained in connection with the case has been released. This follows the expiry of his remand on Tuesday, where it was found that he did not have anything to do with the attack. He was initially arrested as his motorcycle's registration number matched the one traced at the crime scene. Police believe that the real culprit used a fake registration number, resulting in the release of the first detainee. However, the man has been re-arrested after he was tested positive for drug. Meanwhile, Selangor FC on Tuesday forwarded an official application to the Malaysian Football League (MFL) to postpone the 2024-25 season-opening Charity Shield match that is scheduled on Friday. Its Deputy President, Datuk Sri Sharil Mokhtar, stated that the appeal for the postponement was submitted based on safety reasons.
Saya boleh sahkan. Hari ini pihak Selangor FC telah membuat permohonan secara official, sekiranya pihak MFL dan juga pihak JDT bersetuju untuk perlawanan Piala Surbangsi hari Jumaat ini kalau dapat diubah, bukan dibatalkan, diubah atas dasar keselamatan.
However, Sharil said he could not reveal or elaborate further on the reason for the postponement and hoped that the MFL and Johor Darul Takzim JDT could consider postponing the match after a thorough discussions. The Charity Shield match between Selangor FC and JDT has been scheduled to be held at the Sultan Ibrahim Stadium in Iskandar Putri on Friday. Malaysia aims to introduce Orangutan diplomacy, particularly in major importing countries such as the European Union, China and India. Plantation and Commodities Minister Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani said such move is to signal the global communities regarding Malaysia's commitment to biodiversity conservation. Speaking at the Biodiversity Forum 2024, organised by the Malaysian Palm Oil Green Conservation Foundation, MPO-GCF, in Genting Highlands, Pahang on Tuesday, Johari also called on the big palm oil players to work with non-governmental organisations to adopt, breed and give one or a pair of orangutans to their global partners.
Kalau dulu kita selalu tengok panda diplomasi, now kita have orangutan diplomasi. So kita boleh bagi mana-mana negara yang berdagang dengan kita, khususnya untuk kelapa sawit ini, kita bagi dia sepasang. So that's what our intention to do. And then kita nak prove kepada masyarakat dunia bahawa kita bukanlah negara yang menghapuskan orangutan.
The orangutan diplomacy is in line with the forum's theme, the other Malaysians living together in harmony, which symbolises MPO-GCF's commitment to conserving biodiversity. The forum aims to underscore the importance of safeguarding 3 iconic wildlife species in Malaysia, namely the Bornean orangutan, Malayan tiger and Bornean pygmy elephant.
Professionals, expert scientists and palm oil industry players to learn on how to conserve and protect the biodiversity that exists within the oil palm plantation landscapes. And by doing so, we hope that the industry can become more sustainable, become more biodiversity friendly in the future. And we hope that by doing so also, it will initiate or spark a lot of collaborations.
The three-day forum features 5 sessions, namely sustainability and best practices, human-wildlife coexistence, conservation efforts by the industry, conservation education and awareness, as well as policy and regulations. Building collapse in South Africa leaves 5 dead, dozens buried. News from the foreign front when we return.
Aku dah tanang kau.
Kalau boleh ulang balik, Mira follow dia, benda ni tak menjadilah.
Kalau saya tak boleh memiliki, orang lain pun takkan boleh memiliki dia.
Syafiqah Ahmad Ismail maut akibat ditikam bekas tunangnya di tempat letak kereta sebuah pasaraya di Keluang.
Dalam kehidupan, tidak boleh berlebih-lebih. Dalam sayang, tidak boleh terlalu berlebihan.
मुझे पारो से दूरी बनानी ही होगी।
पारो सिर्फ शंकर की है और हमेशा उन्हीं की रहेगी।
सुबह भी पारो शादी से भागने की कोशिश कर रही थी।
एक बार शादी हो जाए, फिर देखना कैसे सीधा करते हैं तुम्हें।
अगर शंकर वहाँ से बाहर निकल गया तो तमाशा हो जाएगा, समझे तुम?
Ish Dastan Nagmane, Isnin hingga Kamis 4 petang di Sonia TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
You were the one for me.
Saat-saat manis Gavin dan Dom tidak kekal lama.
To be your lover, forever Dominic Garcia.
Dan mereka mula saling menjauh.
We're drifting apart.
Ganito na lang ba tayo palagi, ha?
Ketika konflik memuncak, Tony muncul menggugat ikatan cinta. To have and to hold. Setiap Sabtu 12.30 hari. Di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Nightline continues. 2 Malaysian women sustained injuries in a bomb explosion along Pupa Park D Road in Muang District in Narathiwat, Thailand. The victims, identified as 38-year-old Hariza Aziz and 31-year-old Siti Aisyah Ismail from Kelantan, suffered injuries across their bodies and are currently receiving treatment at the district hospital. According to a spokesperson for Thai security, the explosion occurred around 9:35 p.m. local time, while the 2 women were passing through the area. In the incident, more than 5 motorcycles caught fire, believed to have been caused by an explosive device planted in the vicinity. Following the explosion, police cordoned off a wide area around the scene of the blast as a bomb disposal squad searched the area for other devices, but to no avail. Narathiwat District Police Chief Colonel Pratia Bait has confirmed the incident, saying investigations were underway. He added that Thai police are actively pursuing leads to apprehend the individuals responsible for this alarming act of violence. In the meantime, the Foreign Ministry has confirmed that the 2 Malaysians who were injured in the Monday's bomb blast have been discharged from hospital. In a statement, Wisma Putra said they were given outpatient treatment at the main hospital in the Muang Narathiwat district and have been allowed to go home on Tuesday. The ministry also urged Malaysians in the vicinity to stay vigilant and follow the latest updates and guidance provided by the local authorities. It added Malaysians requiring consular assistance can also contact the Consulate General of Malaysia in Songkhla. A knife attack at a hospital in southwest China has left at least 2 people dead and 21 others injured on Tuesday. It was reported that the stabbing happened at 11:37 a.m. local time at Zhenxiong People's Hospital in Yunnan Province. Officials said they had identified a male suspect from a town in the country, but have yet to confirm whether the suspect arrested is the attacker. In the meantime, the wounded are currently receiving treatment and the case is being investigated. Moving on, at least 5 people are confirmed dead and more than 50 are missing after the under-construction 5-story building collapsed in South Africa on Monday. 26 of the 75 construction workers on site at the time of the collapse had been pulled from the rubble by Tuesday morning. 5 were declared dead, and the remainder were transported to hospital. Of the 49 still unaccounted for, rescuers said they contacted 11 people. Chief Director for Disaster Management, Colin Diner, said 4 of them are trapped in a basement and there is still a likelihood that more could be alive. It is still unclear why the building located near the city centre suddenly collapsed. However, the police have opened a case and authorities are investigating. The US has opened a new inquiry into troubled jet firm Boeing after the company told air safety regulators that it might not have properly inspected its 787 Dreamliner planes. The Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, said it would look into whether staff had falsified records, adding that Boeing was re-inspecting all 787 jets on the manufacturing line. Boeing will also be forced to develop an action plan to address concerns about planes already in service. This came after the FAA said that Boeing had come forward voluntarily last month to warn that it may not have completed inspections required to confirm adequate electrical safeguards. In a surprising move, Miss USA Noelia Voigt on Monday announced she was relinquishing her crown, citing her mental health as the main reason. In a social media post, the 24-year-old who captured the Miss USA crown last September thanked her supporters and stated that it is time for her to move on to the next chapter. Voigt mentioned her favourite part of the journey was being a fervent advocate for anti-bullying, dating violence awareness and prevention, immigration rights and reform, and also being able to shed light on her roots as the first Venezuelan-American woman to win the pageant. Meanwhile, the Miss USA organization expressed their utmost respect and support for her decision to step down, and they will review their plans to pass on the responsibilities to a new successor. Speedy Tigers down Olympics-bound Kiwis for second win. Sports after this breather.
Pembunuhan yang paling kejam yang pernah berlaku di negara ini lah.
Dia diseksa. Itu yang saya tak boleh nak lupa.
Keadaan masa tu nampak kelang kabut sikit.
Memang sedih. Kes itu menggemparkan negara.
Ada sesuatu sedang berlaku di sana lah. Kita nak cari kebenaran.
Menyoroti kes-kes yang pernah menggemparkan dunia dan Malaysia, segalanya akan dirungkai dalam Fail Mahkamah setiap Rabu 9 malam. Terbaharu di TV3 dan stream sekarang ditonton.
Kalau hang berani, hang keluar hantu. No, betul.
Hang jadi orang tengah. Aku nak panggil hantu masuk dalam badan. Bercakap dengan aku.
Melati.
Awak buat apa dekat sini?
Pergi dari sini.
Demik?
Kena kacau dengan Poch.
Lain malam, lain seramlah. Puasa cuti semester. Khamis hingga Sabtu 9 malam di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui tonton. Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
dan stream juga melalui tonton.
We're back with sports. Hockey, the 2024 Sultan Azlan Shah Cup. The national squad outplayed Olympics-bound New Zealand 6-4 on Tuesday night to secure their second win. The Speedy Tigers took a commanding 4-0 lead in the first quarter thanks to goals from Faizal Hakim, Muhammed Azrai Aizad Abu Kamal and Azimuddin Shakir Kamaruddin. The Kiwis responded with 2 goals in the second quarter through Smith Jake and Jonty Elms respectively. Muhajir Abdurrauf extended Malaysia's lead in the final quarter before Isaac Holbrook narrowed the gap to 5-3. Azrai completed his hat-trick towards the end of the game to make it 6-3, putting the result beyond doubt. Holbrook managed to grab another goal for New Zealand just before the final whistle. On to football, the Saudi Pro League leaders Al-Hilal came from behind to beat third-place AlAhly 2-1 in a rescheduled match on Tuesday, moving closer to clinch the title. Firas Al-Buraikan opened the scoring for AlAhly on the half-hour mark after slotting home a rebound from close range. Al-Hilal drew level 7 minutes after the restart through Alexander Mitrovic's towering header. Malcolm Felipe Silva de Oliveira then secured the 2-1 comeback win just before the final whistle with a stunning solo goal. The win marked Al-Hilal's 23rd straight league victory, and they now need just a point from the remaining 4 matches to secure the title. Their next match will be against bottom of the table Al-Hazm at home. Report founder ordered to attend defamation appeal proceedings. The details after this short break.
Aku dah tenang kau.
Kalau boleh ulang balik, Mira follow dia, benda ni tak menjadilah.
Kalau saya tak boleh memiliki, orang lain pun takkan boleh memiliki dia.
Syafiqah Ahmad Ismail maut akibat ditikam bekas tunangnya di tempat letak kereta sebuah pasaraya di Keluang.
Dalam kehidupan, tidak boleh berlebih-lebih. Dalam sayang, tidak boleh terlalu berlebihan.
Ada berlaku ketirisan wang dalam Kalista.
Sekarang ni masalahnya, you nak sembunyikan apa-apa daripada I ke apa?
Jangan bagi diorang syak apa-apa pun. Kita kena bertindak sebelum Maria kick us out.
He's my husband. I berhak tahu.
I'm trying so hard to fix our marriage. I want you to do the same. I buat semua ni untuk you.
Racun Rihanna, Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam di Samarinda TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Get ready, ladies. It's time to shatter the stereotype. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smiles. This talk show is all about you. Catch Women Talk every Saturdays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Stream also on Tonton.
Thanks for staying with us. The Election Commission EC is expecting a voter turnout of above 75% for the Kuala Kubu Baru by-election this Saturday. Its chairman, Tan Sri Abdul Ghani Saleh, urged all eligible voters to exercise their democratic rights.
Pada 11 bulan ni, saya mendoakan supaya semua pengundi dapat keluar mengundi. Dan sebagaimana biasa, kita di SPR ni, kita akan menjadikan satu center yang baiklah. Pada saya, kita targetkan melebihi 75%.
The EC chief spoke to the media after visiting the early voting centre at the 4th Infantry Division of the Royal Signals Regiment in Hulu Selangor on Tuesday. Early voting involved 863 voters at 2 centres, namely the multipurpose hall at the Royal Malaysian Police College and the 4th Infantry Division of the Royal Signals Regiment. The by-election sees a 4-cornered fight between Pakatan Harapan, Perikatan Nasional, Parti Rakyat Malaysia and an independent candidate. It is being held following the death of incumbent Lee Ki Hyong, 58, from cancer on March 21st. The state constituency has 40,226 registered voters. And lastly, the Kuala Terengganu High Court on Tuesday ordered the founder and editor of Sarawak Report, Claire Rucastle-Brown, for the management of her appeal against her conviction and 2-year prison sentence for defaming the Sultanah of Terengganu, Sultanah Nur Zahirah. Judge Dato' Hassan Abdul Ghani issued the directive to the British national during management proceedings of her appeal on Tuesday. Rucastle-Brown was found guilty under the Penal Code by the Kuala Terengganu Magistrates Court on February 7th. Kwok Ngek Siong, representing Rucastle-Brown, requested that the next case management be conducted online. Additionally, he said Rucastle-Brown had previously applied to be absent during the appeal hearing. The court, however, directed her to attend, setting June 6 for the next case management. Rucastle-Brown, based in London, was convicted of defaming Sultanah Nur Zahirah in her book entitled The Sarawak Report, The Inside Story of 1MDB Expose. We leave you with visuals of Media Prima Berhad's open house held at Sri Pentas and Balai Berita on Tuesday. With that, I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan. Thanks for watching and take care.